Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new H1Z1 video. In today's video we're going to be talking about the next update, which is going to include weapon balancing and gas changes. If you guys want to know where the source for this info is, I'll try to show you guys a screenshot on Twitter of a post from the H1Z1 Twitter where they were replying to somebody saying that gun changes will be coming in the next update, and that's what they're looking at doing. So I think the gun changes and the gas changes are going to be coming to H1Z1 before ranked comes, so that whenever it does come, they're not going to be changing the meta in the middle of a ranked season or whatever. As always guys, if you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're brand new here, and turn on notifications if you do want to see my videos. Pretty much in today's video, I'm going to be talking about each of the guns, you know, what I think needs to be nerfed and buffed and all that kind of stuff, and just generally talking about what I think is going to come in the next update. So let's talk about each of the guns and what I think of them. So let's start out with the pistols in the game. If I was to balance the pistols a little bit, I would make them 100% accurate, because pistols, you know, you can't really use them at range. And if you do get a pistol in your starting house and somebody's got an MP7, which is a Hellfire if you don't know, or a shotgun, you're pretty much screwed. Like, if they've got one of them two guns and you've got a pistol, it's pretty much GG. So let's talk about the M9. The M9 is more accurate than the M17. It does really low damage and it's got 17 bullets. I would like to see it stay like really accurate. If anything, I want that gun to be 100% accurate, and I want the hipfire to be a lot more accurate as well, so that it's, you know, obviously it's a weaker gun. The Hellfire and shotgun most of the time will outgun it. But if you're a better player, you can still like 2-tap them or 3-tap them with the M9 and have some kind of a chance to kill somebody with a pistol. I think that is somewhat imbalanced. So that is something I'd like to see with the M9. Damage is fine, I think. It's just the accuracy of the pistols, honestly. The damage is fine with all the pistols. It's purely just the accuracy, that's the problem. Likewise with the M17, it's a pretty good gun actually. You can 1-tap to the head if you're close enough. The pistols have a lot of damage fall off. So even if you're like 10 or 15 meters away from somebody, you know, that can be the difference between 1-tapping and 2-tapping them in the head. If there's such a heavy damage fall off, I feel like there does need to be some kind of accuracy up close, and, you know, some kind of usability at like 10 to 15 to 20 meters. Obviously it shouldn't be an ideal option, but it shouldn't be, you know, extremely difficult to use it to the point where you're just dead if you come up against an MP7 or a shotgun at that range. The Magnum is actually pretty interesting. I've had 2-shot body kills with that gun. Sometimes 2-shot headshots, 1-shot headshots. Again, the effective range is very, very strange. The Magnum got somewhat of a buff in the last update. It now does 11% damage to cars, where it was 8% before. The biggest flaw with the Magnum is definitely the accuracy. It's insanely inaccurate. Even at sort of close to mid-range, you're very lucky if you're hitting your shots. So I would like to see that. Some of you guys have said that there should be a red dot sight on the Magnum. I don't really know about that, but I do think the accuracy will be a good thing with hip firing and aiming down sights, because if you want a natural car counter in the game, I feel like the Magnum does have to be, it needs to be somewhat accurate to shoot cars at decent range. Just while we're talking about cars, I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think of the new fuel consumption and all that kind of stuff? I think it's a really good update. You know, the fuel consumption is a lot higher. But I think whenever you're boosting, it does that extra 25% fuel consumption, which I think is a little bit too much. So I find myself personally running out of fuel, like really quickly in solos. So let me know if you guys think they should rework the fuel consumption a little bit. I personally do think the boosting probably takes a little bit, it probably takes a little bit too much fuel right now, so let me know what you think. So moving on to the SMGs, the Hellfire and the CNQ. I feel like the Hellfire is better than the CNQ, because, you know, the only thing that the CNQ's really got over the Hellfire is probably like slightly better range, and obviously you've got a red dot sight, so it's easier to you know, be accurate at sort of, let's say 15 to 20 meters away. So I'd like to see the Hellfire get actually a bit of a range nerf, like a little bit more damage fall off, and maybe a little bit more recoil or something. It's super easy to outgun like an AR-15 or AK at what you would call the AR-15 or AK effective range, which could be obviously a problem with those guns. I do think the Hellfire, it is actually just insane, honestly. You can pretty much just spray it off, and it's very, very easy to land a lot of shots. So what I'd like to see with the SMGs is that they're a direct counter to the shotgun. So the shotgun effective range is maybe 8 to 10 meters, or something like that. I feel like the Hellfire and the CNQ should be your 15 to 20 meters gun, and, you know, it can compete with the shotguns up close, but it's good up to like 15 to 20 meters. So for me, that's what it should be, the direct competitor to the shotgun, not something that you can spray, you know, an AK down with as easily. That's what I'd like to see, maybe a little bit of more damage drop off with the SMGs. I think the damage is fine, maybe a little bit more accuracy with the CNQ would be good. Since it is a blue gun, generally I think that would help a lot. The shotguns, I think the shotguns are perfectly fine actually. The riot shotgun, it takes about 2 shots to the body if they've got an armor, or 2 shots to the head. Sometimes it's a bit annoying whenever you shoot somebody in the body, like a full pellet to their body, and you shoot their helmet and it doesn't kill them. It can be a little bit weird. So there's no like damage multiplier for the shotgun for shooting somebody in the head with a helmet. So I'm honestly happy enough with the shotgun. I think it's powerful enough as it is. I don't think it needs necessarily buffed or nerfed. I mean, maybe if you're going to nerf anything, nerf the range a little bit, but compared to the PC shotgun, it's actually pretty balanced, I feel like. You have to hit your shots. And honestly, you can use either shotgun. I don't think, there's an argument that either is better, really. The combat shotty reloads quicker, it shoots a lot quicker, it's got a red dot sight, you can completely decimate people with it, but obviously the tribute shotguns get the better range, better damage. So I think they're pretty balanced, honestly. I don't think anything really needs done with shotguns. I know maybe some of you guys are, hating them because, they're pretty strong, but I do personally think the shotguns are in about the right place. So moving on to, let's say the stuff in the green airdrop, or the green items in general. Crossbow, I think it needs nerfed, or something needs done with it. I think it's very, very easy to find the crossbow, which is probably the issue it's got. They recently nerfed its damage against cars, but you can pretty much just shoot at somebody's feet and do like 50 damage, and then finish them off easy with a shotgun or a KH-43. I think, considering that it is a weapon, it goes straight for your armor. I know grenades go straight for your armor as well, but considering how easy it is to find, you can carry like 9 crossbow bolts in total with a military backpack. I think it's somewhat overpowered, so I would like to see less damage overall with the crossbow, and like maybe a slower reload, maybe a lower ammo capacity, maybe bring that down to like 4 or 5 or 6 with a military backpack. Just so it's not a crossbow fest, really. And I'd like to see it go into the green airdrops at the very least, and maybe replace it with an AR-15 or an AK-47 on the ground, and that would make, more assault rifles available off the get-go. That's what I would personally like to see. Again, you guys can let me know if you think that's a good idea or not. So moving on to the AK-47 and AR-15. AR-15's okay. I mean, I think it shoots really slowly though. That's probably the biggest problem with it. It's about a 4-shot kill to the head, or a 5-shot kill to the head, which I do think is probably a little bit too much. I mean, shooting somebody 5 times in the head to kill them, I mean, that's not really something you see in any game, so I would like to see a little bit more headshot damage with it. I think the body damage is fine, or maybe it needs buffed just a little bit. Considering it's a single shot rifle, it could do with a little bit of a buff. So that would be the 2 main things for me, just the headshots and the recoil reset. If that was a little bit faster, the AR-15 would feel really, really nice. The AK-47 is such a weird gun. It's got a lot of bloom. If you guys don't know what bloom is, it's kind of like the more you spray, the more random your shots go. So the bullets are never accurate with the AK, really. There's no like first bullet accuracy with it or anything. The bullets are so random, it's like very hit or miss. Because like the recoil's insane, first of all. And sometimes you'll catch some aim assist, and it'll just lock you onto your target and you'll spray them down, and it's insane. But that's like 20% of the time. I feel like 80% of the time it's really uncontrollable, it's unmanageable. It's just not a very good gun to use. I think the damage is fine, it's just the amount of bloom and recoil it's got, it's pretty unbalanced. So I would like to see some kind of a buff with that, so that it consistently outguns like an MP7 or a CNQ at, 20 meters. I think that should be where the AK-47 excels, but unfortunately it's just so inaccurate that it's pretty hard to use. And finally, from the green items, let's talk about the scout rifle. At 2 shots to the head if they've got a level 1 helmet, 3 shots to the head with a level 2 helmet, and 1 shot to the head if they've no helmet at all. I really love this mechanic with the scout rifle of 2 tapping and 3 tapping. It's what makes the gun really, really good. The only thing I would do differently with it is just make the body damage a little bit higher. So like it takes maybe 1 or 2 less shots if they've got full armor to kill them, and then that way it will be a more valuable gun. Maybe like 1 less shot, or like do something with the damage drop off. I think, a lot of these guns have damage drop off, which makes the damage really strange. I'd like to see like a much further damage drop off, all assault rifles in general, so you're not, shooting somebody 4 times up close and killing them, but shooting them 6 times at distance. It makes the game feel very inconsistent, so I would like to see the damage drop off definitely get fixed with those. So moving on from the scout rifle to the M40. Dude, this is a gun, like, back in the day, like a few weeks ago, I was probably saying, like, make sure it's a 1-shot headshot to the helmet. I don't know about that anymore. I think the M40's honestly in not a bad spot. It takes your helmet off, and then you have to shoot their head again. The only really annoying thing about the M40, sometimes it will literally take 4 shots to kill somebody. I think that should be impossible. Like, it should be 3 shots max, no matter what the status. If you shoot their body armor twice and take their body armor off, and shoot them in the helmet, yeah, that should be a kill. I don't think you should have to shoot somebody 4 times with it. I'd like to see there be no damage drop off whatsoever. Dude, I've even shot somebody directly in the face with no helmet and not killed them. I think it was some kind of a bug, but the M40's, you know, it's kind of weird. So, like I said, I think they should keep the damage like that. You know, it's the helmets protect you. You know, you don't get a one-shot kill with it. But, you know, get rid of the 4-shot kills, dude. There's no need for a 4-shot kill with a sniper. What I would like to see is a brand new sniper come into the military crate. A golden sniper, which does one-shot you to the head. Like an AWP, AWM, Barrett 50 cal, whatever you want to put in there. One-shot kill to a level 1 helmet, and then just pretty much like a 2-shot kill elsewhere. That would be something that would be somewhat balancing for the LMG, because there will be not as many LMGs at the end, and there'll be some, you know, Barrett 50 cals in, or whatever in the match. So I would like to see some kind of golden sniper come. The KH-43 and Marauder I think are both fine actually. Those guns feel pretty responsive and pretty good. Once again, just damage drop-off feels a little bit weird sometimes. The KH-43 and Marauder are pretty accurate, so I think those guns are pretty well done. The shotguns and the 2 blue assault rifles, they feel pretty good, so I honestly wouldn't do too much with them. Maybe just once again the damage drop-off, or maybe like tweak the accuracy a little bit. But apart from that, they look pretty good, I think. And finally, the LMG, I think it's a little bit broken. I mean, I love picking it up because I get it, you know, a lot. But I feel like if you get an LMG, it's pretty much guaranteed wins. It's got 100 rounds. The recoil is not high enough, I think, is the problem. And it's got pretty much no damage drop off. So I think the only thing they have to do with the LMG is make more recoil, and that'll be in a pretty good spot. Not too much where it's, you know, completely unusable, but to the extent where you don't fully spray like an entire 100 round clip and not get that much recoil. I think that's pretty much the big issue with the LMG right now. But in any case, guys, let me know what you do think. I think the weapon balancing definitely needs a pass for sure. So to briefly recap everything, you know, buff the pistols, make them a little bit more usable, more accurate. Nerf the SMG range, nerf the crossbow, maybe put it in a crate instead of on the ground. I would like to see the AR-15 and AK-47 both buff. The shotguns I think are fine. The scout rifle needs a slight buff, I think. The M40 needs a slight buff. KH-43 and Marauder, both in my opinion feel really damn good. And finally the LMG needs a little bit more recoil. And I think that'll be pretty good weapon balancing in H1Z1. But that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you guys do think. Also, like I said, in the next update, they're going to be doing gas balancing. So if you're camping in the gas at the end of the match, it's pretty much going to destroy you. So I'll keep you guys updated whenever they release the patch notes and tell us whenever everything's coming. I will let you guys know in another video, giving you the full patch notes and everything. But that's pretty much it for me, guys. I hope you did enjoy. Like I said, be sure to leave a thumbs up on the video, and subscribe and turn on post notifications if you want to see more videos from me. But until next time, guys, this has been King Plays. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck, and peace out.
It's okay to say that we expect.
It's Hoodie Allen. What up, Marina? You know how we do. They telling me to take the safe route. This is the detour. Hoodie, baby, you ain't seen a kid like this.